Filipinos who think that all Americans are rich. He's always like that.
Her home is in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So she's always going to want to go back or
Once in a
send
while.
money, right?
Yeah.
So
Like imagine you're married to an American.
if you support them too much, they will never become independent.
What do you hate the most in our culture? Alright, hi friends! Welcome back to Mezzy Life! Nandito tayo ngayon sa aming sasakyan because we're going for a short vacation for my birthday, and we're gonna be driving for 4 hours, and we thought I thought that we use this time to have this video that we've been thinking about making. Question and answer, kind of like a video for couples that have different culture or from different country. Shall we just start? Okay, so the questions are actually from ChatGPT. I have to kind of speak more English because my husband don't know Tagalog. Konti lang. So,
Tama.
tama. So let's talk first about how we met. You first.
Oh, internet dating site.
Dating site. We met
Tinder.
online. Tinder, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel embarrassed when you say that?
There's a there's a negative association with Tinder
Yes.
in America.
Yeah.
And,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's part of me also that kind of like embarrassed that we met on Tinder, because for Filipinos who doesn't know, in America, Tinder is more like for hookups, like one night stand kind of relationship.
Not that's not what it's for. That's what it devolved into.
Yeah, but anyway, if you want to like hear the whole story of how we met, watch this video. Okay, let's do it. Now, the first question would be, what do you hate the most in our culture, or like each other culture? That's the first question. I just thought about like, why would I start with negative, no? So what do you hate the most about Philippine culture?
Do you hate or like?
Huh?
I guess you could do both, right?
Yeah, we can do both, yeah.
I guess there's like, oh, you have to respect your elders, right? No matter what, right?
Yeah.
Even strangers too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter if they are bad. Like, still respect them.
Yeah.
And still listen to them. And still obey.
Well, I guess
Right?
it depends, Daddy. It depends on how bad. Like,
Yeah.
I
But
will not respect an older rapist, right?
Yeah, even if they're just a little bit bad, irresponsible, and then they give you some command, then you're supposed to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, even if they're not like terrible, telling you to do something bad, like, oh, go get me, I don't know, go get me some more beer or something.
Yeah,
Like,
do this.
go
I'm
buy
your
me
father.
cigarettes. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
your
know.
uncle.
Yeah.
I'm older than you. Do
Yeah.
this, yeah. I understand, because when I was a teacher, I am expecting a respect from my students.
Yeah.
And then I realized in America, I have to work on getting that respect from students. And in the Philippines, it's automatic, you know. I'm older than you, you are my student, I'm your teacher, you respect me.
Respect comes from different places with different people. Some students will respect certain behavior. Sometimes you cannot gain respect from people,
Yeah.
right? Without being aggressive or assertive, or
Oh, yeah.
like exhibiting negative behavior.
Let me answer first.
What do you add?
What I hate the most
Oh, yeah.
about Americans is I feel like Americans have so much freedom, and it's almost like entitled, you know. Americans are like entitled to get things. For example, wait, I don't
Free
wanna-
stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, free stuff like, hey, government is supposed to do this for us.
Yeah.
Hey, you're working for me. You're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to get this because I'm paying. Like, so entitled with every single thing. Like my students, when I was teaching, they would be like entitled to that pencil. They should have a paper. The parents are entitled for my service of teaching their kids. Like, they should learn this. Yeah, I teach them. It's not up to me if they would like totally get it. You know what I mean? So that's what I hate the most. So like just imagine we both have income, so we're not qualified for this government free
Programs.
stuff, right? So we have to pay for it. But if let's say just one income, that's not enough, or we both don't have income, we will qualify for these free services. So yeah, and then these people will still complain about not getting enough. At least you're getting something. Yeah, and in general, just so entitled. What do you like the most in our culture?
I guess family oriented more so.
Yeah, like we have more close family tie,
Yeah.
right?
The general idea in America is like, oh, you're 18. All right, you're getting kicked out the house.
Yeah,
You're on your own.
Yeah.
You know, well, I don't think that's a good thing. I think it's good to kind of help your kids raise their kids.
Be independent.
But like be there to help and watch them, you know, become successful adults and stuff like that.
In my opinion, there can always be a good balance for that, you know?
Because
Philippines kind of extreme, daddy.
Yeah. Well, no, here also it can become like a negative thing for the person. If you support them too much, they will never become independent.
Yes, exactly. Right? What I like the most about Americans or American culture is very straightforward and easy to negotiate with. Not only in business, but in general. Like they're on time. They're very, very professional. If you have like a professional relationship with people, it's very professional. And in terms of business, since we have business, it's just very straightforward. You know what to expect. People will tell you what to expect. Like, oh, are we gonna buy this or not? You know, in the Philippines, I didn't really have much business. It's more like small business transactions in the Philippines, but there's always a problem of time, like Filipino time, you know. Second, there's always like, even if they said yes, they might still say no, even if you already had a deal.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, deal, I'm gonna buy that. Yeah, shake hands. And there's always that fear, like maybe they would change their mind and they will not buy it. How is the language affect your relationships, and how do you handle it? Language affect our relationship?
We speak English.
We speak English. I think I speak good enough English, right? So it's not really a problem, I don't think. Right?
I guess so.
Well, sometimes I guess for Philippines, like I speak English, right? But since I didn't grow up in America, there's always that some things that I don't understand. Like your joke maybe is not funny to me.
It's funny to me.
It's English, but I understand the words. But like, how is that funny, right?
Yeah.
So that's cultural language difference, I guess. How is the language affects our relationship?
She don't understand me.
What do you mean?
Well, like I'll say something, and she doesn't. She takes it the wrong way, I guess. Right?
Not all the time.
I'm saying you just asked me a question.
Just sometimes, right? But so how do we handle it?
I quit talking,
And then
I never bring it up again,
and then I ask you again.
and then I make it worse by trying to explain myself, making it worse.
So you know, like
Because a lot of times I'm not aware of, or I'm not considering the emotional thing behind it. I'm just like, it's not meant to be disrespectful or anything.
yeah,
like,
example.
She takes it that way.
Example lang, just an example. I would say, do you love me? And then you're gonna say, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean sure? Sure is almost like a forced yes, right? At least for me. But it's not just that. Like in that particular example, it's almost like, what do you mean you don't love me anymore?
I love you so much.
Now I'm used to it. So every time he said sure, it means yes. No doubt like that. Because for me, sure is more like maybe yes, okay, fine. Like, okay, fine. Like, I'm just gonna say yes.
Well, you're asking me if I love you. Like, we've been married for how long now?
I know. It's just like sometimes, you know, like, say you love me. Nope. Wait, for me, how do we handle it?
What?
So for me, I always keep my mind open. I keep an open mind. Even before when we're just dating. Oh, well, let me tell them the story of our first date. Like you told me I have a nice butt or something.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He told me on our first date that I have a nice butt. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like off, right? For Filipinos, it's kind of like manyak ba? Like pervert.
Oh.
for Filipinos, it's like pervert, you know. And then like it's a first date. So in Philippines, I would probably not date you anymore if you're a Filipino. So that's cultural how I handle that differences is that I keep an open mind and ask or like not overreact. With all my interactions with foreigners, I always have this thought that I should not overreact. Maybe they don't mean that. They don't mean to be disrespectful. Well, he don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just their culture, you know. So that's how I handle it. Is there any cultural differences affecting parenting? I don't think cultural. It's more like personal, individual differences.
I guess.
Well, yeah. Basically, we talk about parenting in general and how, you know, life, family things in general. We always talk, you know. So I guess communication is the key.
Well, even on our first date, I think we talked about that. Oh, you want kids?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned homeschooling on the first date too. Yeah.
And also stay at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we were like dating, the first date, he already asked me, "Are you like the kind of a person who's willing to like stay at home, or homeschool?" And to me, that time homeschool was kind of like foreign, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. In the Philippines, homeschooling is only for kids of politicians, you know, like rich people. They're protecting their kids to be kidnapped.
But it's also like usually not the parents teaching the kids too, though.
Yeah. I mean, I said I will consider the homeschooling, but the stay at home, I said yes also, considering if the husband is making enough. That's kind of like, you remember that? Yeah, that's all we talk about. But anyway, the point is, it's nothing cultural, I think, as long as you talk about it. I don't think cultural or any personal differences should affect your parenting in a negative way as long as you talk about it. The fifth question is actually kind of the same. Is there any cultural differences in big decision making for family? It's the same, right? We kind of just, that's the same answer. I don't think cultural difference for both of us is an issue.
Yeah, I don't think it's culture it's just about what we think is best.
Yeah, it's just about what we want for our kids, what we think is the best for our kids. We
mostly ignore cultural norms.
Yeah, actually it is.
And like just question, is it good or bad?
Yeah, we don't care about what is traditional or what everybody else is doing. We just do what we think is the best and what's good for us and for our family. Yeah, definitely no culture there.
We're uncultured.
Yeah, we're uncultured. So how do you celebrate holidays and special occasions that may differ in your cultures?
We do what we like to, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, first of all, Philippine and American holidays and celebrations are very similar.
Yeah.
Right? Like Christmas. Well, we don't have Thanksgiving, so I don't mind doing that. It's just one more special day, right?
US and America are mostly like, you know, what do you call it? Christian Catholic countries or whatever. God-believing
countries,
not Islamic or Muslim, right?
Yeah. So that's why it's very similar.
That's why it's mostly similar. Right?
So how do we celebrate? We don't celebrate everything that everybody is celebrating. It's the same as our answer earlier that we don't really care about what everybody is doing. We just do what we want to do. Like we love Halloweens. I love Halloween.
She does.
I like dressing up and putting everybody in costume, like matching costume. I just love that.
Me too. Or I don't like, but she puts me in costumes.
And you're enjoying it. He's always like that. Every time I want something and then like, hey, let's do this, like the travel. Like he don't really like traveling. I like to travel. And
in America, they call me a party pooper.
Party pooper, yeah, KJ. He would say, oh, okay, I'll just do it because you want it. So it makes me feel bad, but we're gonna do it anyway. And then I know he's having fun, but he won't admit it.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't know, when do I have fun?
We don't really celebrate like 4th of July or New Year's Eve.
It's more so like because of kids. We don't go out to like fireworks or stuff because of the kids, right?
Yeah.
You know, as they get older, maybe we will. 4th of July, we just go to my parents' house and like he'll do some barbecue or something.
But you see, that will show how much we don't really care about it. Because other families with small kids, they would still go out and have a party or fun. So basically, we don't really celebrate with everybody.
We just celebrate with my family.
Yeah, we just celebrate with his family and with whatever we can celebrate.
Yeah. Whatever we like to.
Whatever we like and whatever is convenient.
Yeah.
Because we have small kids.
Yeah.
Maybe it will change as, you know, we grow, they grow. Have you introduced each other to your respective cultural foods?
Yeah.
Yeah. Food. Do we have food issue?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't always like to eat what you eat.
Yeah, sometimes he find Filipino foods weird.
Like the blood stuff.
Yeah.
Or the intestines.
Yeah.
Or balut.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's understandable. For me...
You don't like grits.
Yeah, I don't like grits, cereal.
I don't like cereal.
But also, the difference is you are Korean American. You have a lot of food that I like. Like the Korean food that your mom...
Anything spicy you don't like.
Yeah, except if it's spicy.
And so that cuts out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But majority of Filipinos like spicy. I like this question. Be ready.
Good.
How is your life gonna be different if you're married to a person from the same country or culture? Like imagine you're married to an American.
Traveling? Depends on the person, but like...
Yeah, depends on the person.
I don't like to travel so much.
But
and
yeah.
like if you were from America, maybe you wouldn't want to travel as much either. Like, well, there's a lot of Americans that don't care to travel.
Yeah.
But like because you're from the Philippines, you're from another country, you've also traveled a bunch, you like to travel, like that's your thing. Whereas like some people, the only time they've ever leave their state was to go to Myrtle Beach or something.
Yeah.
Go to the beach like once or twice in their life and that's it.
Yeah, he don't really like to travel. I think I traveled more America than you. Am I right?
Probably.
I visited more states than you.
Yeah.
I've been in the West. Have you been in the West?
I've been there for like a conference, but like I didn't go to visit. Like I went there for like a youth conference or something.
Yeah, you only go for like business reason. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is not cultural. It's more like personal. You can still marry an American who loves to travel.
Yeah.
So you would have the same problem.
Yeah.
And you can marry a Filipina who doesn't like to travel.
Yeah.
So you will not have to travel, right? That's it?
I don't know. Is there something else?
I don't know. Think. If you're married to an American, well, you say earlier that you like that I am family oriented.
Yeah.
So I guess, do you think it's gonna be a difference?
Again, I think, yeah, maybe it really depends on the person.
I guess it's hard to answer.
Because like I asked you, do you want kids? Are you interested in homeschooling? Are you interested in staying at home?
Yeah.
Like.
So if an American
if
say
you said
that,
no to everything, I'd probably be not interested.
Yeah, and I guess
like if you don't want kids, then I'm not interested, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
like,
right, because if you ask an American on the first date, ask that question.
If they don't want kids, then okay, we'll just go our separate ways.
Yeah,
if you're not
bye.
interested in having a family, then I'm not interested.
Yeah, okay. So that's like really not a good answer. I mean, question, because it always depends on a person.
You always have that. The wife always has her home is in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So she's always going to want to go back or
once in a
send
while.
money, right?
Yeah.
So
Send money.
yeah, send money.
Yeah, I guess those. All right. So for me, I think my life is gonna be really different.
You won't be here.
If I decided to not go abroad to teach,
Yeah.
So for my viewers who doesn't know, we met in America because I moved to America. I got a job as a teacher, right? More likely, I'm gonna be married to like another person with like a regular job like me, like a teacher also maybe or whatever. Basically, I will not have that comfortable life, I think, because not the fact that I'm married to a Filipino, but because I stayed in the Philippines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my life is gonna be different because I think I will not stop teaching, I will not stop working, and I will still be. My partner is gonna be working too, and my mom is more likely gonna be watching my kids. That's the typical Filipino setup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. I believe in myself. I believe in my
You
capabilities.
probably have less kids though.
Yeah, I would be limited to two.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
you're
I'm done
working.
with two. Not that bad. It's different. And I always believe in my own capabilities. I feel like if I am in the Philippines, I'm already a principal. because my master's is in school management. So I think I thought about this. If I'm in the Philippines, I'm already a principal of a public school. Actually, there's no more questions, but I have a question for you.
What's that?
I make this question for you. My first question, I have two.
Okay.
So my first question is, do you see yourself retiring in the Philippines?
Nope.
Really? That was fast, no?
Because it's just about being around
Family.
yeah. Specifically our kids. If our kids want to go to the Philippines, but also like with you, your business,
We better stay.
are you just gonna like, okay, we're done, we're retiring, what are you gonna do with everything?
Yeah.
Gonna work till we die.
You see, I guess it depends on the situation.
Work until we
right?
die. Till we're like 80, 90 years old.
Yeah. That will make our life longer.
Packing.
Yeah.
Packing. Like we're gonna develop carpal tunnel syndrome in our wrists from packing.
Yeah, it is actually make our life longer if we keep working, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I never say never, Daddy. You never know what's the future, so we might still retire in the Philippines. I mean, if you ask me, I have that desire, but again, it depends. How if our kids want to stay in America? I don't want to be in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
I want to see our future grandkids and all
Yeah.
that. Anyway, second question. Do you have any message to Filipinos who think that all Americans are rich? I'd like to hear this.
Do you want the short answer or the long answer? I guess you want me to make it short, but I can't.
Yeah, just say what you can.
If you compare the American like standard of living to the rest of the world, yeah, we're rich, right?
Yeah,
The
or
standard
more
of living,
comfortable.
yeah, we're more comfortable. The standard of living is higher, but because the normal standard of living is higher, then in poverty, 2 hours and 2 minutes. Because the normal like standard of living of most people is higher, then the standard of living of people in poverty is also higher.
Yeah.
But it's largely because there's like government programs that provide, housing, food, medical care for people that don't work,
Yeah.
Things like that.
Government provides.
Redistribution program. If you compare like poverty in America to a lot of
Poverty
into other countries,
Like third world
they are
countries.
rich. They are obese. They have so much to eat. They have place to stay. They can go to the hospital,
Yeah.
and it's paid for not by them, but by us,
taxpayer.
by me. I pay for
Taxpayer,
it.
yeah.
I'm a taxpayer.
It's not necessarily rich. Not all Americans are rich.
A lot of people live
just-
paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people are like in debt. Yeah, they have a house and they have all these things, but like
I think
they don't have excess money. They're not like rich. They can't just stop working.
Yeah.
Because if they miss a paycheck, then their standard of living is gone.
Yeah, it's the same
They get
as
kicked out. They lose their car. Stuff like that.
it's the same as in the Philippines. People live paycheck to paycheck. Now, the idea that Americans are rich, I think, is because of the lifestyle that they see.
Yeah.
Most Americans have cars, are in cars, they have house, their house are nice, they have all bathrooms, they all have these things. And this comes down to the standard of American, right?
Yeah.
Like you can just build a house without a toilet. You can build a house without heater or or electricity or certain system.
Yeah.
So that's what makes or you have to have a car or else you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
For the most part of America, it's like that. But if you're like from New York or like cities, you don't need a car. But yeah, that's what we see in the Philippines. Like, oh, you have a car, you have this house with a toilet and all of these, things. So you must be rich.
Yeah.
So it's the standard of American government that makes that, for the people to have all 1 hour and 56 minutes. Anyways, yeah.
It's gonna be a long trip. Still got 2 more
We
hours
have 2
to go.
more hours, yeah. But anyway, I guess I want to end this by saying that cultural differences should not be an issue, regardless of where you're from. If you're married to a different culture, you just have to keep an open mind, be considerate, and always talk, and explain to each other your culture.
The other thing is, America has lots of subcultures, lots of different cultures.
Yeah.
And it really just comes down to the individual. Are they open-minded or not? You know, they consider it or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they a good partner?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
You know.
Because so it's all about how you guys work together and plan and talk. Right?
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too.
Do you love me?
Sure. Ouchie.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Happy selling.
Happy selling. Bye.